Your life experience, good or bad, is a gift when you share it with others. At Taxi Chronicles, we allow real riders with real stories to share their gift. So hopefully this episode will intrigue, enhance or inspire you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Morning. Yes, we're back with another rider, another episode. Today we're honoured to have a youngish guy, and he's a football scout. So for all those parents who want their kids to be the next Ian Wright, David Beckham or what have you, I don't know about football rules today, listen in. So nice to have you here today, mate, if you've got that.
You're right.
Okay, so tell us, how did you get into the industry?
So luckily I got I'll say my break. I got a job working at Crystal Palace as a kit man. So
As a kit man?
Yeah, as a kit man. Yeah. The person that was the head kit man there literally offered me the job, and I said yeah straight away. So I was kind of sorting out the kit for the academy for a year or so, and moved me up to the first team for a little bit. Then the person that got me the job as a kit man, he got me the job working in for the football agency as well. So I kind of, it's, you know what people say, it's who you know, not what you know. So I kind of got my break with two, how would I put it, with two lucky breaks, you could say, really. But yeah.
Okay, that's great. So how long have you been in the business, and what have you learned from that business that you wish you knew when you started?
I'd say maybe 2.5 years now. But and something I would say that I learned, there's a lot of selfish people.
That's in every business.
Yeah, every business. But I thought, you know, with football, it's like it's a sport, it's a passion. You know, you'd think people would be a bit more lenient with things, but yeah, no, I've learned that even people that you knew before you started working in football, there's a lot of people that are selfish and want to do things for themselves that aren't for the greater good of, let's say, the team or a client or things like that. So yeah, I'd say it's a bit more cutthroat than I thought it would be.
When you're scouting for football players, what are you looking for?
Main thing that hits you straight away is obviously ability. So it depends on what position. So if you've got a winger who's rapid and he's beating his fullback and he's got a trick or two here or there, then you've also got to do things like, which is a bit harder, like background checks and you know what the kid's personality is like, because a kid can be amazing, but if his attitude's terrible or his punctuation's poor or he doesn't really care about football like that, then no coach is going to want to coach him. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to be coachable. So you got to do mainly ability, then you've got to do your background checks and the smaller things, the smaller finer details, I think.
So it's not about transformation where you take a kid who's not really, he's good at sport but he's not really that focused, but you introduce why he should be, because you know you see a lot of movies and things like that where they've taken someone and they've put in that extra work, and
I think where I come in is a bit more to the end of, not even to the end, but just where they're at that maybe elite level where they probably play in an academy or even on a Sunday, because you know there's like you said at the beginning, Ian Wright, he went from literally a park to playing professional football. So it's just about whatever level you're at, the ability. And I feel like even if you're not at that point you want to be at, if you, like you just said, if you put in the practice and put in a lot of hard work, then you go. Because in football there's from, I think, grassroots kids that play football, only 0.006 get a contract, I think, a professional contract. So the chances of being a footballer is slim, and everyone wants to be a footballer. So you've got to work really, really hard with the talent. So it's tough to get there, but once you're there, you got to work hard to keep it as well.
Yeah. They say getting to the top isn't the hardest thing.
It's staying, exactly. Yeah. So
where does a scout normally go to find talent?
Mainly games. So if you get however you get to the games, you get to, don't know, whatever game you want to go to. Let's say Palace versus Charlton, under 18s. You watch, you have a look, you kind of see who's who. Mainly me, I look for who's unattached. I don't want to touch anyone's players and cause a rift and things like that. So yeah, mainly games. Or I don't know, I could hear from someone and someone be like, oh, go and look at John Smith at so and so, he's really good. So if I trust their opinion, I'll go and look at John Smith playing anywhere. But mainly matches and certain level matches. But obviously, if someone recommends a player to you, you're gonna go and have a look.
So there's two things you said there. One about treading on other people's toes, and two, the fact that you're going to other leagues. It's like you're not going to the park and seeing people play or anything. The league or whatever. You're just looking straight at people who are somewhat established.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have, like I said, you can listen. Like, there's loads of talented players playing everywhere. Some players don't make it for some reason, or some players just never have the chance to play at academy level. So if I do like a PE teacher in a school in Sutton could be like to me, go and watch John Smith. He's playing here and here. His quality just hasn't had that breakthrough. I'll go and have a look at John Smith so and kind of give him my opinion over that 90 minutes, or go and watch him a few times. So yeah, it's mainly not established, but kids that are in the system. But I do go and watch Saturdays and the Sundays as well.
Is there, like, you've been doing it for 2 years plus, was it hard to build up your network, and do you have a strong network now? Do you have to have a strong network?
I would say so the people that I worked in the company, they're really cool, so they helped me out a lot. But building up your own network is difficult. So obviously, like I said, I worked as a kitman before. I know a lot of footballers, but they still see me as a kitman. They don't see me as an actual as someone that can help them in football. So the transition period was tough. So you have to show people that you're good at your job, and because it's their lives at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? You're helping them with their football and stuff like that. So you got to show them that you're good at your job. You know what you're doing, and it's getting there. Like I said earlier, it's a bit selfish. So someone at point A doesn't want to help someone at point B, but if they both work together, they could get to the end goal. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit here and there, but I've met some lovely people that help out and that want to just, maybe get to the greater good for a player or a club or something like that. But some people are not interested, but it's up to them really. No one's begging anyone to work together. But yeah, I'd say it was a bit of a struggle. But yeah, you got to do it. You've got to put the hours in, just like football. You've got to ring the clubs up, ring the managers up, and make a name for yourself, really, isn't it? So yeah.
There's an analogy about I heard on social media about Usain Bolt. He runs his 100 meters in 9 seconds something.
Yeah.
But when he does a relay with his other 400 meters, that if you divide up the time that they do it in, the fastest time, they've actually done it less than 0.37
seconds. Yeah.
So, and it shows that how running as a team, you can be more efficient than running on your own.
Exactly.
So that might come in as a good analogy for when you're trying to convince
someone to exactly. No, you're right.
What was I going to say? What's the impact you want to have in the world?
Well, that's a good question. I've actually never. Do you know what? I feel like if I reach the crazy insane goals of like being obviously one day I want to be an agent and a top one. Hopefully I could. Maybe I grew up in Clapham, and now loads of kids now don't really play football like they did before, like in the pitch or in the park. Everyone's really playing indoors. There's not a lot of youth clubs like there used to be. Everything gets shut down. So hopefully, kind of bringing back sports to like communities, especially communities that kind of need it. You would say, like how would I put it? Just maybe communities like just that need sports to kind of to thrive, because there's a lot of talent in these areas, like let's say Clapham, Brixton, Peckham, things like that. But because they haven't got the same resources as some areas or the same exposure, the talent won't be seen. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of kids that, like for example, there's kids that are amazing at football, but their mum's working 2 jobs, so she can't take them to football. So the talents, I wouldn't say it's getting wasted, but it's not developing like it should. But someone else, somewhere else, his mum and dad are obviously well off, and it's not a bad thing, but his mum and dad are well off, and he can get extra football lessons and go coaching here and there. So I'd probably want to try to get sports more accessible to everyone and to a high level as well. But that's a dream.
You've been a great guest. Where
Cheers.
can people find you?
I've put my social media and stuff like that, yeah? Yeah. Well, my is on, like I said, Instagram is Darrylsiaw. So it's at DARRYLSIAW. And it's the same on Instagram. I mean, no, same on Twitter as well. DARRYLSIAW.
And the last thing is an agent, is what you do, is it a job for life, you would say?
Yeah. I think if you do well in it, my specific job role now is head of recruitment in South England, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to lead up to be get my experience to be an agent, to be a good agent. But yeah, I think it's definitely a job for life if you have the right connections and if you work hard. And obviously, if you see what some agents get from deals, you can. Some people are getting 10, 20 million, so yeah. Those are the big boys, though.
Well, thanks a lot.
No worries, man. No worries.
And we wish you well.
Thank you, man.
We hope you liked that Taxi Chronicles interview. Don't forget to share and subscribe to get the latest episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economies and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources. Listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. British Standard Time.